Good morning. In 1 Samuel chapter 20, King Saul curses his son. Then, when Jonathan appeals to him regarding David's innocence, he throws his spear at him to kill him. And what is his response? Verse 33. So Jonathan knew that his father was determined to put David to death. He discovered what David suspected, that the king had not repented of his murderous intentions. Jonathan's appeal was rejected and met with violence. So in verse 34 we read, "And Jonathan rose from the table in fierce anger." It was before his father who was fiercely angry at him. Now Jonathan is fiercely angry. However, unlike Dad, he's not going to sin in his anger. Yeah, you can be angry and sin not. Notice he wouldn't curse his father back. He wouldn't pick up the spear and throw it back at him. Instead, it says, he ate no food the second day of the month. He was so upset that he couldn't even eat. And that's understandable. If you had a father who cursed you and tried to kill you, I think it'd be hard to eat. You would be pretty discouraged. Then it says that Jonathan was grieved. And what's interesting is, he's not grieved for himself. He really is a faithful man. He's become, by the grace of God, a selfless man who's willing to honor David, who's taking his place. He should be the next king practically, but God's chosen David to be the next king. And Jonathan, by faith, has accepted that. What an amazing, humble man. And then when his dad mistreats him, he's not grieved for what's happening to him, but he's grieved for David. Now, David is his covenant friend, so to insult David is to insult Jonathan, but his concern is for David. Why? And it says because his father had disgraced him. That word disgraced is the word dishonored, insulted, shamed. So when Jonathan hears that, no wonder he comes to David's defense. If we hear somebody being insulted and shamed, and we know that's inappropriate, we should respond and come to their defense. Jonathan comes to David's defense. And granted, it would cost him rapport with his father. He would have to depart and distance himself from his father. But that's a truth I want us to consider this morning. Do you defend the Lord? Do you defend His word when people mock it or disbelieve in it? Do you defend the honor of the Lord when people take His name in vain? Do you defend other believers when you hear people speaking inappropriately of them? Do you defend the church when people criticize the church and say all manner of evil against the church? And yes, we're imperfect and we have our issues, but the truth is, criticizing the church really isn't the right way to handle it, and our agreeing with others about it without offering explanations, scriptures that remind people that the church is the bride of Christ, and we must speak carefully about people and those that God has redeemed. So defending others, speaking up, that is something that Jonathan did, and it cost him, but he did it anyway. And the grief in his heart was for how his friend had been dishonored. And we do grieve when people are dishonored, people that we care about. And so I want to encourage you today to consider how you speak about others and what you do when you hear others speak dishonorably of the Lord or others. I love that verse in Revelation 5:13. It says this, "And I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and in the sea, and all that is in them, saying, To Him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be blessing and honor and glory and might forever and ever." Now that is worth our meditation this morning and this day.
listening to Mornings with Pastor Jim. This podcast is a ministry of Family Church PC. For more information or to contact us, go to familychurchpc.com. Have a blessed day.